Welcome to an instructional video on how to get prepped for your grid drawing, to create a larger grid drawing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is select an image that you will be resizing in Photoshop. In order to get ready for this, I suggest that you go to Microsoft Edge and search for an image. Please use Microsoft Edge. Follow along with this video and it should go pretty seamlessly. I'm going to click on Images once I've found what I want in Google. I suggest going to Tools and going to Size and selecting Large. That way you'll avoid any pixelation. Pick whichever image you like here, but what you want to do is you're going to right-click, you're going to start by left-clicking. The image will show up over here in a preview window. Right-click, and please click Open Image in New Tab. That will create a new tab up here, and it should show your image. So I've got my image here. It's much larger now than the preview window. What I would like you to do now is we're going to use a tool called Snip and Sketch. So come on down to your Windows symbol here, and Snip and Sketch should be right here. If it's not, talk to your instructor. You're going to select New, and your screen will gray out, and what I'd like you to do is click and drag the area that you want to keep. So here you go. This is what we've done. I now need to save this, so I'm going to come up here to my save symbol, and I suggest saving either to your desktop or to downloads. So I'm going to save to the desktop, and I'm going to call this Snoopy. And JPEG looks correct. That's what I want to save it as. You see I have all these different choices. I'd suggest saving it as a JPEG. So we're going to save it as a JPEG. You're now done with Snip and Sketch for a while. So you can close this, and you can minimize your Explorer, or Microsoft Edge window if you wish. You will now come over here to Windows, and you're going to click on Photoshop 2023. You'll be asked to log in multiple times using your district login, and eventually you will get to a window like this. So what you want to do is, you may have some pop-ups here, but if you do, cancel them or go past them. You're going to click on File, go to Open. So that's File, Open, or you could also do the same thing from here. And you're going to probably get a pop-up window or a window that shows up, and it's going to say, do you want to search on the web? You will absolutely want to click the button that says find a file on my computer, or my file is on my computer. I can't remember exactly what it is. You will then come to this window here. So we're going to go to where we saved our image when we were in Snip and Sketch. I saved to the desktop. Here's Snoopy, so I select it. I'm going to open it. Snoopy opens in Photoshop in his own tab up here. So this is good. This is like other software. We typically have multiple tabs. So this is my source image. In order to print it out on a school photocopier, however, I need it placed on a letter size sheet of paper. So our next step is to come up here to File, New. And you'll have all these choices here. But it's as simple as going over to Print in the top menu, and you'll see that letter is our first choice. We will be putting our image onto a letter size sheet of paper to print it out. So select letter, and then click Create. You don't need to worry about much of the stuff over here. It's already preset for you. So now we have our white blank sheet of paper, and we need to get a properly cropped image of Snoopy onto that white sheet of paper, and this is how we're going to do it. The first thing I always like to do with an image is, if I'm going to be copying it or altering it, I'm going to unlock it. So I can click the little lock here, and that's unlocked it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my crop tool. My crop tool is over here. It's these two little bars. I can also get to it by just hitting the letter C, simply hitting the letter C on the keyboard, and here we are. Now, this is very, very important, so follow along closely, please. You will have a pull-down window here to the left. Please make sure you have many options here. You must select width by height by resolution, which is W by H by resolution. So select that. In the first window, you will type in 11 cm for 11 centimeters. In the second window, you will type in 14 cm for 14 centimeters. And this window right here will be blank, and you're going to type in 300. And you'll want to make sure that the next pull down over says pixels per inch. So again, please make sure that you have width by height by resolution selected. The first window should say 11 centimeters. The second window should say 14 centimeters, followed by 300 pixels per inch. You'll then get up this kind of crop command. And if you are working with an image that is landscape, meaning that it's wider than it is higher, you're welcome to switch these dimensions back and forth. You can also stretch this out, as well as move your image. So if you're inside the crop box, you can move this inside. I'm pretty happy with where this is here. I'll leave it right there. That looks good to me. I now want to execute the command by clicking on the check mark. There we go. Now resize this image a little bit larger. In order to see the whole image on my screen, I suggest hitting either Control- or Control-0. Will actually fill the screen with it. It'll resize it. We're getting close to being done. The next step that we need to do is we need to put a border or an outline on this image. And again, you need to make sure that you have unlocked your layer to do this. It's pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Edit. And we're going to click on Stroke. And I suggest doing a 5-pixel stroke. It's going to be black. I like black. And I would suggest doing it on the inside. So we're going to do that, and we're going to click OK. And you'll see there's now a black line on the inside. Now I'm still on the crop tool, and I don't like working with that tool active, so I'm just going to come up here and select the Move tool. This is now ready to be put onto the white sheet of paper. In order to do that, I need to select the whole image. I can either come up here to select all, but you'll also see the keyboard command is Control-A. So I'm going to hit Control-A. That has now selected this whole image. The next thing I need to do is copy this. That's a Control-C. I'm going to now go over to the white sheet of paper I have here and paste it on here. That is Control-V. And you can see that white or the black border. It comes in very handy. If this had been a pure white background, we wouldn't know where our 11 by 17 ended and the blank page began. I'm just about done. I need to hand this in now. I need to save it and hand it in. In order to save it, please come to File, Save a Copy. Make sure that you click on Save a Copy, not Save As. Where it says Save as Type, you have many options. You will be choosing JPEG, simply JPEG, JPEG. And under File Name, please make sure to put in your name. So we'll call this one Joe Student. I suggest saving it to the desktop. It's simple to access. You could do downloads. Either one of those two is fine. And we will click Save. It's going to ask you what quality you want. It doesn't really matter. Somewhere between 8 and 12 is okay. Click OK. I'm now pretty much done with Photoshop. I can minimize it. And I can check where my file is by clicking here on File Explorer. Yeah, I can see that my file is on this PC on the desktop. What you want to do next in order to have this printed is you need to go to your OneDrive and you will click in the folder that you've created for art, and then you're going to click on Add New, File Upload, and you're going to upload this file from the desktop to your art folder, Art 8. You're then going to copy to the submission folder in the OneDrive folder I've shared with you. You could also go to that folder, the submission folder, and do a file upload, so add new, file upload directly to that folder. The choice is yours. If you want to keep a copy, you'll upload it to your own folder. And I will print that out for you and give you the rest of the instructions.